Welcome to the Savvy Shopkeeper Retail Podcast. I'm your host, Kathy Cruz. Just like you, I'm an independent retail business owner. I love the home decor and gift boutique I co-own with my sister, but I don't want it to consume me or my life. Join me each week as I share lessons learned, helpful tips, and valuable information for your retail business and life. Whether you're buying your products or making your products, whether you're a $25K business or a $2.5 million business, I'm on a mission to help indie retailers work less, profit more, and grow. Let's get started on today's episode. Welcome to episode 125 of the Savvy Shopkeeper Retail Podcast. A viral TikTok and over 100 inquiries. I'm your host, Kathy Cruz. Before I share about this special episode, I want to take a moment to ask you to complete my 2022 Savvy Shopkeeper survey. Hearing about your current struggles and getting feedback from all of you is really, really important to me, probably more important to me than you know. Now, I sent an email out recently mentioning how when I record the podcast episodes and I share them, or when I send a newsletter out, it's a very one-way road, or very much a one-way communication. And this is my opportunity to open up. Although many of you can DM me, you can reply to my emails. I get it, you're busy and it doesn't always happen, or you don't think to do it. So this is really an opportunity for me. Maybe once a year, I do this once a year, to get some responses from all of you, to get you to talk to me, to get you to share some things with me. So the survey is only open until Monday, June 13th, 2022. I will close it at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as with the past surveys I've done, I will give away one coaching call, and a 1-hour coaching call, I should say, to someone who enters their email address on the survey. The survey can be completely anonymous if you'd like, but if you want to get entered to win the 1-hour coaching call, you can enter your email address. I also give away a 1-hour coaching call for every 50 surveys completed, so that gives you a 1 in 50 chance of winning a call. If you'd like to complete the survey, and again, I really appreciate when you take the few minutes to do this, you'll find the link temporarily. It's there until the survey ends. You'll find the link at savvyshopkeeper.com/Instagram. savvyshopkeeper.com/Instagram. So today I'm bringing you a unique episode. I was on my weekly email newsletter Zoom call with one of my team members, Sam. She writes and designs my weekly newsletter now, and I'm so grateful for her. She is also the owner of Heck Studios, Heck, Heck Studios. We have been working together for over a year now. She hired me for some coaching, and I hired her for her design talent. And after her coaching ended, we continued to work together because I continued to hire her. She's that good. So I should add that Sam is also like a little sister to me. She was actually our first hire at the Salvaged Boutique probably 6 years ago. And she has since graduated with her design degree, moved to Brooklyn, New York, but we remain friends. So when we hopped on our weekly call about my newsletter, we started to catch up like we normally do. We usually take the first few minutes to check on each other's families, to chit-chat a little bit, and Sam started telling me about a recent series of TikTok videos she published for Heck Studios, her business. One started to go viral. One of her TikTok videos started to go viral, and she was receiving an overwhelming amount of inquiries for her services. I don't want to give too much away, but Sam designs and hand embroiders t-shirts and other apparel. And within 1 minute of Sam telling me this TikTok story, I noticed Sam's body was literally shrinking. Like she was cowering down a bit, and her shoulders and body posture were becoming smaller as she talked. So I paused the conversation and I asked Sam if I could coach her on this. And then I asked her if I could press record for the podcast, and she was in. I was so excited. So you see, Sam spent a lot of time in 2021 working on what she really wanted for herself and from her business. And when this TikTok situation started to go viral, it was everything Sam had wished for. Deep down, we all have desires for our businesses. Sometimes we suppress them. However, it's beautiful when we identify them, and then it's incredible when we start to manifest it all. When this happens to you, like it happened to Sam, I want you to ask yourself, how can I embrace abundance instead of cower back to scarcity? How can I receive all of the things in a beautiful way that I've been asking for all along? And that's what this episode is about. It's about being honest with yourself regarding what you really want for yourself and your business. And when you start to make it happen, open yourself to accept the abundance. Again, it's a beautiful thing. So here's the call with Sam. I hope you appreciate this special episode I'm bringing to you today. So go back. I just want to say, because I feel like this could be a really good podcast episode. And we can decide on that later. But first, introduce yourself.
Oh, God.
And tell me about your shop really quickly.
Yeah. I'm Sam, and I own Hex Studios, and I make hand embroidered t-shirts, and now I make graphic designs for custom bachelorette t-shirts, which I've come to realize that I've been designing custom / not custom sorority shirts for the last 5 years. I've been preparing for this. This is an adult sorority party.
This is amazing. Okay. So let's backtrack a little. You embroider t-shirts, hand embroidered t-shirts. You've been doing this for years.
Yes.
You were also a one-on-one client. Now you're part of my team. And you're the first person my sister and I hired at our store. So we have a really long journey here. And for the past year or so, you've been kind of struggling with what direction to head in. What do you want to do? And a lot of the conversations you and I have had were specifically about designing, offering digital products. How could you scale your business? Because the handmade portion of your business is so time consuming. I see you putting your hands up to your head. So if anyone's listening, Sam and I can see each other because we're on Zoom. So essentially, you've kind of manifested where you are now. Tell everyone what happened to why we're having this conversation right now. What happened last week?
Yes. Looking back, it feels like so duh that this is what I would start doing. We've had so many conversations, not only about what I want to do in general, but like if I want to freelance, what kind of products. And I told you, I would like to keep designing t-shirts, but like, I don't know who wants a t-shirt or who needs a t-shirt. And it's so funny that I was just designing this design for fun for my friend's bachelorette t-shirt for a party. She doesn't know about this. She doesn't have TikTok. So I still haven't posted it on Instagram for that reason. But anyways, if the surprise is spoiled because of this, that's fine by me. And so I posted a couple TikToks in the last couple weeks about this t-shirt, and the first post about me designing it had gotten a pretty good response, a lot more views than I normally get.
How many?
And so it was 9,000. Granted, my average TikTok views before that, 200, 250, maybe 400 or 500 was great for me. So seeing it go into the thousands was a shock. And so I kind of continued to post designing, just basically me recording my computer screen and chopping it up and doing a really quick version of creating a design. And then I had someone comment on that video and say, oh my gosh, it's this is about to be very Gen Z, a non-chuggy bachelorette design, which means tacky or whatever. And so I thought that was so funny that I made this video and it said is it possible to have a non-chuggy bachelorette tee or something like that? And I held up the sample that I had made of this shirt. And that video went nuts.
So it was the follow-up video to the first TikTok that you did that already performed well, like 10x your normal.
Yeah, I think it was the third video with this design because I had posted a second one once I had made the sample of the shirt and it didn't do that well. And I was like, no, I know this design like needs to be seen again. Like I got to try this again. So I made this. I mean, it's like a 7-second video. It's like the dumbest. It's not dumb, but it's short. Didn't put a lot of work into it. Just threw it up on like a Tuesday afternoon.
So was it a little bit like, this is fun? I love the response I got. And I know I'm onto something. And then that led to the third video. Now, how many views does your third video have?
Let me pull it up. I want to say this is how it has 297.4 thousand.
Wow. So almost 300,000 views. Okay. And I just want to quickly add that Sam lives in Brooklyn, New York. So if you hear noise in the background, there's just a lot of traffic in Brooklyn.
No, the street.
No big deal. So out of almost 300,000 views, that's amazing. You told me before we started recording because we started chatting and I immediately thought, oh my goodness, we need to publish this on the podcast. So this is very impromptu. I had no idea this conversation was going to happen, although I kind of knew because of course I follow Sam and I had questions about one of her posts last week. So this is impromptu. So tell me, how many inquiries have you received? And I'm guessing it's in your TikTok inbox. How many inquiries have you received and what are they asking you?
Yeah. Funnily enough, it's not in my TikTok DMs.
Okay.
Partially because I kept telling people would comment and be like, oh my gosh, I want this. And I'd be like, DM me. And someone was like, I can't. This is how little I know how to use TikTok because my DMs don't like, I went into the settings and they were like, it's set to private. And I was like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. But I think I have over 100 requests, which have come from my website contact form.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Form.
Yeah. A little bit here. They're also Instagram DMs, also like regular emails. But the fact that people have been like willing to click into, I have to assume from TikTok, they're clicking into my Instagram, my link in my bio to my website. That's a lot of clicks for someone to go through and then to fill out the form.
Yes. That was the next thing I was going to comment is that's how much you can tell that this is definitely a pull. Like it's an attraction. It's appealing to them. It's appealing enough to them that your design or whatever it is that you did. And of course, we'll link all of the TikTok videos in the show notes because I want everyone to see them. But it must be that appealing to them that they're willing to take that many steps. And we always talk about minimize the number of clicks it takes for someone to purchase. And they're saying, no, I'm going to click and then I'm going to click again. And then I'm going to click again and I'm going to type.
Yeah. And that's the other thing is prior to this, I wasn't able to put a link in my TikTok bio because again, you have to have a certain amount of followers to even have a clickable link in your bio. So I had maybe 300 followers prior to this video. And now I'm at like 1,200, I think. Once you hit 1,000, you get a link. So I added the link last week.
That's amazing. Okay. So the reason I wanted to record this is because when we were talking before I pressed record, I could see you were almost shrinking. Literally all of your physical body was shrinking because you were talking about these 100 inquiries and you were feeling overwhelmed. And you, during the process, which I think was fantastic, instead of really overwhelming yourself with the physical work of hand embroidering all of these t-shirts, you've decided, okay, I can actually fill all of these inquiries if I offer them digital designs and they can take the designs. I'll sell them the designs and then they can take it and do with, whatever they want with it.
Yeah.
Which I think was fantastic. You don't have the manpower. It's just you. It's a great substitute. So far, everyone seems to be saying, yeah, I'll do that. I'll take it. I'm
Right.
really curious because I actually haven't seen the TikTok. So of course I want to flock to TikTok to see the video and see the design. I'm sure it's fantastic. But you were shrinking like, whoa, because I asked you how many of the 100 inquiries have you followed up on? And then I even offered, do we need to set up a system so you can handle these efficiently and not lose any sales? And you were kind of like backtracking. And I slowed you down and said, wait a minute, what I don't want you to do is take this amazing opportunity and shrink down so much that you just shut down. And I don't mean like shut down completely, but
Yeah.
that you limit yourself instead of run with it, because there are things that you can do to move forward to fulfill or at least follow up with every single person and then continue to
Yes.
follow up. Because what if this goes to 1 million views and you continue to get inquiries? What if I put this on the podcast and other Gen Zs or anyone having a bachelorette party
Yeah.
becomes interested, and who knows where this is going to go? So tell me give me a little bit of the story behind making the decision to go from I'm going to hand embroider all of these orders to making the designs. Did that come from like one conversation with one of the people that inquired with you?
Well, since I had already been making the graphic for the, like, personally, the thing that the bachelorette party I'm going to, I had kind of priced out what it would cost to get the design printed, whether or not I could print it myself. I have a heat press. So the t-shirt I'm holding up is because I ordered like a heat press sample that I can press myself. So once these inquiries started coming in, I also had the question of like, should I do that? Should I buy the shirt, buy this transfer? I could heat press them myself. It's just not cost effective for me. And it's not what I want to do. I don't want to be a heat presser. I want to create digital designs. And I would love to get to the point where I have a gallery and I'm doing less fully custom designs and just really like for example, the one that I made says it's a Nashville bachelorette party. So it says Nikki's last rodeo in Nashville. And it's got little cowboy boots and the whole thing. Nashville could become, I've already had this conversation with 1 million people. Nashville could become Scottsdale. It could become Austin. Obviously change the whole quote at the top. Whatever.
Right.
And it's such an easy, it's not passive income, but it's pretty dang close.
Yeah. So like so many things here, and a
Mhm.
lot of it from probably conversations we had over the year that you and I worked together, like work smarter, not harder, tap into your zone of genius, which is design. It's always been design. I have goosebumps. I literally have goosebumps right now that this is happening.
Yeah.
It's like all of the things that we talked about and all of the things that you had realizations about during our calls. It's happening now. You recently went from full-time employee to kind of a hybrid of part-time employee and part-time freelancer. And somewhere down the road, you're probably going to be a full-time freelancer. Yeah. So I love that this happened. So what are your next steps, or what did you do after you made the decision? I'm going to offer the designs. What's the system that you set up to start communicating with all of the people that have inquired with you? Like, have you created a form where they could just fill out a questionnaire to make it easier for you so you collect all responses in one place? Or is it a lot of back and forth? Have you used the scheduling tool so they can call with you? Tell me, what are you doing?
So currently I have ideas for things in place, but nothing's in place. I have a table where I've been recording all of the inquiries since they are coming from a few different places, keeping notes on who I've replied to, what month. A lot of people have been messaging me about a party that's in, 4 weeks. So I'm trying to organize things by who needs things done the quickest, mark when they reply, if they've paid. I would love to get to the point where they have a contact form to fill out with prompts so that they're automatically telling me when the party is, or all these other details. I would love to have all the communication in one place, as well as a way to pay. I am using like a PayPal link right now just because it all happened. So it was like, do I take the time to try and figure this all out? And push back the time where I'm replying to these people, or do I just start replying to people? And it was that moment of like paralysis where I was like, I just need to do something. So I just started replying, because my first thought was, I need to get listings up and I need to do this and this. And I was like, no. Just start replying to people, because I don't know how, like, people want to hear a response. I've had a couple comments. They were like, I sent you a message. I'm not sure if you got it. I'm like, I promise.
Yeah. So
I'm replying as quickly as possible.
My thinking is like, if you have this spreadsheet or whatever tool you're using, could you at the minimum, for everyone that you haven't replied to so far, just craft a simple email with all of their email addresses, BCC it. So not everyone has access to everyone's email address that also submitted an inquiry, but BCC, and simply say, I received your contact form. Thank you so much for reaching out. I've received, over 100 inquiries. I will be in touch.
Yeah.
Just so that they know that you're acknowledging that they received it.
Right.
And let them know, please watch, your inbox for a questionnaire or a form for you to complete so we can move forward. I think that might be a good first step, so that you can at least acknowledge that they submitted, and they don't feel like they need to keep reaching out to you on TikTok. It acknowledges receipt.
Yeah.
It lets them know that you have a lot on your plate right now. It also lets them know that there's like a next step and to watch for it. And then in the meantime, instead of feeling like you have to respond to each one, you can in the background make the Google form or a type form. Mm-hmm. I would do a Google form and ask all of the questions and then send that out to everyone. Yeah. Because you're having the same conversation over and over again. And some of it will require maybe a phone call or a little back and forth, but at least you get all of those answers. Another thing I would do in the form is ask questions that will really kind of filter through who your ideal customer is. Mm-hmm. Just to make sure that they are prepared to move forward. And sometimes the form itself is a good way to filter, because if someone's not willing to fill out the form, they're probably not your ideal customer.
Yeah, definitely. From reading all of the responses that I've gotten so far, a lot of them I'll read something and be like, ooh, that's a question I need to ask, or, this is something I need to know up front. It's funny. Some people I have had actually a lot of people start their emails with, I'm so glad, like, congrats on your TikTok blowing up. Like, I'm sure you're super busy, which is so nice just to like hear that acknowledgement. I don't know that, I don't assume everyone looks at that posting, or I guess when you go to the profile and compare like views, you're like, oh, but I just thought that was really nice. And then I forgot what else I was going to say. Oh, just the level of detail is so different from email to email. It's very funny to see. Some people are like 3 paragraphs and they're like, I hope this made sense. I'm like, please always give me all the detail.
Right. Give the more info, the better. And another thing that you can do in the form in like that first couple of paragraphs is you can then also indicate, I am not offering to make and print the t-shirts. Yes. I am offering the designs. That way, that'll filter the people who think, oh, I only want her to make the t-shirts. Right. And then if you have next steps or recommendations on how they can get them printed, you can give them those resources too, so that you don't close the door completely. You aren't saying, I'm only offering design services, but you can say, I'm offering design services, but I do have a couple of recommendations for you to get your shirts printed, so that they don't feel the road is ending with you. Yeah. I want to be able to walk them through as much of the process as possible, even though I'm not doing it. And it is so easy these days. It makes it better. Like if you just Google like custom t-shirt printing, like, and I'm giving you that's the other thing is like, you just put that file right on the site. And I mean, right. And you're giving it to them with an extension. I don't know if it's an SVG or PDF. I don't know what it is, but whatever the proper graphic design file is, because you are a graphic designer, so they don't have to figure out, is a JPEG enough? You're giving them the right file. Again, I mean, to say I've been training for this, I've been making files ready to print for years. So it's just so funny that it's all happened this way. Yeah. So do you feel moving forward, you can handle these inquiries and keep moving forward?
Yeah, it could definitely, the streamlining has like a long way to go, but it is kind of nice. If I had tried to set up a system before all these came in, I don't know that it would have been as accurate. I would have ended up having to make changes. Now that I've been able to see so many things, I am making like small notes on the side of like what needs to go into those things when I have a little breathing room to do it.
And when you have the breathing room, do some of the things that are going to help you moving forward. Again, because you don't know, is this going to turn into 500 inquiries? Is it going to turn into something else that you never expected? And I want you to feel abundant and welcome all of those inquiries and orders instead of shrinking and saying, ooh, this is all too scary. This is terrifying me. This isn't what I was expecting. But in the end, just to really tap into that this is what you've wanted all along, and to not let that go because fear or the sense of overwhelm is holding you back. And if you need to, like you also said before we started recording, I might need to hire. Well, if you need to hire a VA, a virtual assistant to manage your Google Sheet, or someone to do some of that other work for you so that you can focus on the design, maybe you're going to do that. Don't close the door on it.
No, all the possibilities right now.
Okay. So tell everyone, we're going to wrap this up because we did not plan this at all.
Impromptu.
It was just too exciting not to record. Tell everyone again the name of your website and the name of your business.
My business is Hex Studios. You can find everything at hexstudios.com. It'll have links to my design work, bachelorette tees, hand stitched, everything. And then the TikTok and Instagram is the same thing, Hex Studios.
Hex Studios, all one word, no underscores or anything.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just going to spell it HECK, Heck Studios with an S at the end.
Some people, yes. It does have a tendency to sound like I'm putting a hex on you, Hex. That's not it.
Not a hex, just a heck.
Yep.
Sam, thank you. I'm going to stop recording, but thank you for doing this with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.